Madam Speaker, how can a government which knows that their people are hungry, the cost of living is high, the debt mountain is high, start considering delimiting constituencies? How can a government think that they cannot take electricity to rural areas because there's no money? They cannot expand FISIP, and the motion was here on the floor of the House last week, where a member was urging government to expand beneficiaries of FISIP.
Welcome to Zambia Today Television, where stories unfold. Bringing you the latest in political developments, governance, and national discourse. Today, we focus on a controversial topic that has sparked widespread debate across the country, the proposal by President Hakainde Hichilema to create more constituencies.
Across the country, there will be needs to delimitate or subdivide overly large constituencies.
During his State of the Nation address on Friday, President Hichilema emphasized the need to increase the number of constituencies across Zambia. According to him, this initiative is meant to enhance representation and improve service delivery at the grassroots level. But not everyone agrees with this move.
There will be needs to delimitate or subdivide overly large constituencies. Madam Speaker, this is a popular subject. Some constituencies are like small countries.
One of the strongest critics of this proposal is Lunte Member of Parliament, Honourable Mutotwe Kafwaya of the Patriotic Front. Kafwaya has openly questioned the rationale behind this decision, arguing that Zambia is facing severe economic challenges and should focus on more pressing matters.
Let's go to page 19 of the speech. Madam Speaker, there you will find the President saying, there will be need to delimitate or subdivide overly large constituencies by geography and population. This will require constitutional amendments. Madam Speaker, how can a government which knows that their people are hungry, the cost of living is high, the debt mountain is high, start considering delimiting constituencies? How can a government think that they cannot take electricity to rural areas because there's no money? They cannot expand FISIP, and the motion was here on the floor of the House last week, where a member was urging government to expand beneficiaries of FISIP. There is no money, but they want to increase the number of constituencies. Madam Speaker, where will the money come from? This chamber, Madam, cannot even contain the members who are here now. You are telling me that you will have to expand this chamber. Where will that money come from? Madam Speaker, constituencies around the country do not even have constituency offices. They have to rent. The National Assembly has not finished building constituency offices. Where will the money come from, Madam Speaker? Where will you find the money when your country is having unsustainable debt?
Kafwaya's concerns are shared by many Zambians who argue that the government should be prioritizing solutions to the rising cost of essential goods, high unemployment, and the deteriorating state of infrastructure.
A leadership, Madam, leads for people. You don't lead for yourselves. You cannot be considering to make things better for leaders, make things better for people. Madam Speaker, revert the MPs back to the councils. The President spoke to that. Madam Speaker, let me give you an example of a council where a minister is a member of parliament, elected minister. I'll say, for example, I'll take Northern Province in Kaputa, where a member of parliament is also a minister. Madam, every council meeting, this minister will have to go to the council. What it means is that a minister, a driver, and a protocol officer, and fuel for the vehicle, service for that vehicle, will have to be loaded to government, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, is this a time to start thinking like that as a government? Is this the time to start thinking about putting money into leaders, or this is time to think about putting money into people? People are going with load shedding, madam. They are being load shedded. In some instances, 7 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours of load shedding. Why don't you put that money into the import of electricity so that your people can have power 24/7 and so businesses can be able to flourish? Madam Speaker, why don't you put money into agriculture so that there's more food and the cost of living begins to come down? This government is thinking about putting money into leaders. Madam Speaker, this for me is something I am unable to support. Constitutional amendments are not a priority for this country. What is a priority is solving the high cost of living, solving the debt mountain. You have a debt mountain.
The Honorable Member for Lunte.
Madam, I was saying you have unsustainable debt. By you, I mean the Zambian people. But instead of paying attention to that debt, which is unsustainable, which continues to increase, you want to increase the cost of running government and not increasing money going into the bellies of the people whose bellies are empty. Madam Speaker, my honorable colleagues, reminds me of what the UPND considers the people of Lusaka, big thieves. So the money has been taken from big thieves in Lusaka. I respect you, the people of Lusaka. I think you need to be dignified. Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker.
Order, honorable members, order. You may continue with your debate.
Madam Speaker, at Bauleni Market, a bag of charcoal is 750 kwacha. Madam Speaker, the people who live around compounds.
The Honorable Member for Lunte, are you sure of the cost of the charcoal?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Are we sure? If we are not sure, Honorable Member for Lunte, just withdraw and maybe replace it with another word. The Honorable Minister for Lusaka Central is here.
Madam Speaker, those who use gas stoves and those who live in areas where electricity does not go, they may not know the price of charcoal. Madam Speaker, 50 kg mini meal.
The Honorable Member for...
We want to hear from you. Do you think creating more constituencies is the right move? Or should the government redirect its focus to more pressing economic matters? Drop your comments below and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Zambia Today Television, where stories unfold.
In order to improve distribution and deliver resources equitably and fairly across the communities, there will be a need to delimitate or subdivide overly large constituencies by geography and by population. Madam Speaker, we are aware that some of these MPs, Madam Speaker, we are aware that some of these MPs struggle to reach one corner of their constituency.